Hi guys, today we're gonna talk about input and output in C programming. In this video, we will learn to take input and store it in variables. So let's get started. Standard input and output and standard error. When your C program begins to execute, three input and output devices are open automatically. The first one is the standard input. The standard input usually uses your keyboard. The standard output uses your monitor. And the same with standard input, the standard error usually uses your monitor. Some C library I/O functions automatically use these devices. Formatted console output. In C, formatted output is created using the printf function. Printf outputs text to standard output. The basic function to call printf is of the form printf format argument 1, argument 2, and then etc., where the format is a string containing conversion specifications, literals to be printed. I have here an example. As we already have discussed in our previous video, this is the basic outline of every C program. First, I'll declare a variable int age and then scanf to take the input from the user, and then the int argument or the decimal number. And then the next one is the age. And finally, I'll use the printf function to print the variable. Now, let me explain it in much detail. Here is an int variable to store the input data. And notice the scanf function. It has two parts. First is the format specifier that represents the type of input data. In this case, it is an integer. And second is the variable name. Notice that we have used the ampersand before the variable name, where ampersand represents the memory address and ampersand represents the memory address of the age variable. Now, the scanf function will take the integer input from the user and store it in the address of the age variable. To verify that the input value is stored in the variable, I'm also printing the variable using the printf function. Now let me run this code. Here you can see the cursor. I'll provide value 22 and press enter. As you can see, the input value is printed. Here, initially I get confused about where to find the cursor to input a value. So I'll print a message to ask the user for the input value using the printf statement. So printf bracket inside quotation, I'll write enter input value. Now let's run this. So as you can see, you get the message enter input value. I'll provide 22, and here you can see the value is printed. Printf conversions. Conversion specifications begin with format specifier and end with a conversion character. Between the format specifier and the conversion character may be in order. A minus sign specifying left justification, the minimum field width, and period separating the field width and precision. The precision that specifies maximum characters for a string, number of digits after the decimal for a floating point, minimum number of digits for an integer, an H or an L for long. Common printf conversions. The percent in D is the int argument printed as a decimal number, and the percent %u is the int argument printed as an unsigned number, and percent %s prints characters from string until output is seen or the number of characters in the optional precision have been printed. And the %f, the double argument is printed as a floating point number. And the x, the %x, the int argument is printed as a hexadecimal number. And the %c is the int argument as a single character. And the last one is the %p, which is the pointer argument. Keyboard input. In C, keyboard input is accomplished using the scanf function. Scanf reads user input from standard input. Calling scanf is similar to calling printf. Scanf format argument 1, argument 2, and etc. Format string has a similar structure to the format string in printf. The arguments are the addresses of the variables into which the input is stored. Text file input and output. Reading and writing from and to a text file is similar to getting an input from standard input with scanf and writing to a standard output with printf. Reading data from a text file is accomplished with the function fscanf. This function works the same as the scanf but requires an additional parameter which is a handle to the file. Reading a line from a text file is accomplished using the fgets function. This function is similar to gets but requires a handle to a file and a max character count. Similarly, writing to a text file is accomplished with the function fprintf, which works the same as the printf but also requires a handle to the file to be read. Please show some support, and that will be all. Thank you.